Chio.
One of the wingers, probably Chio.
Chio.
Fastest player. Chio.
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 Fastest? Nah. Chio, probably, yeah.
Chio.
Chio.
Chio. Fastest player. I'd like to say I'm up there, I won't lie. Yeah, me. Or Callum Robinson maybe, yeah, as well. Oh, Chio, yeah. Oh, yeah, Chio, to be fair, that's right.
Oh, let me think. I don't know actually. It's a tough one. It'd be between me. Troy's quite quick. Between me and yeah, I say between me and Troy.
That's me. Me or Jeff.
I say Troy best.
Definitely not McLean. He's the worst. If you just go on his Instagram, you'll see that. I'll go Troy because I can see him there.
Trying to see what people are like in their gear outside of this. Callum again, probably.
Who wears when they come into camp? Adam Adaya.
It's a difficult one. Not very good ones about. Jeff?
Best fashion sense. Don't know. I'll just say myself.
Actually, I'd say I'll give Enda best, Connor worst. You have to appreciate Jeff's locks, don't you? Jeff.
Jeff Hendricks. Josh Collins.
Best trim. I don't know actually. I'd like to say something myself, but that's not true, is it? I don't know. You can't throw me on the spot like that.
Troy Parrott.
Trim? No. Probably Troy.
I actually don't know. I actually like Ryan Manners, to be fair. He's nice.
Trying to go through the team at the minute in men. Strangely, I actually like Connor Hurhan's.
Say Connor Hogan. Just heard someone say Connor's trim is the best, so I'll go with that. Up the Rebels.
Conor Hurhan, I like it.
Best trim. Oh, Conor Hurhan, he's just sharp in it.
Me.
I'd say Jeff because it's different.
Jeff.
In the squad? Oh. Tough question. Trying to think here. Go for Jeff.
Me.
Over Scotland was back in 2011 as the players take the knee just before kickoff. That was in, remember, the Nations Cup, that friendly tournament. Well, anyway, that was Ireland's last victory over Scotland, and off we go at the Aviva. It worked out, didn't think it would. Here's Egan, and that's for Brown. Decent bit of control, although it forced him backwards. Malumbi's got ahead of him. They're queuing up in the centre. Parrott got a touch. Goalkeeper had to parry it. A parry from Parrott. Here's McLean now. Malumbi arriving late. Brown. Troy Parrott. Collins. That's a decent start.
You know, I thought we got a little bit too deep and maybe went, as Stephen said, went along a little bit too early, but certainly it's changing. There's the ball in.
Yeah.
You know, just a little nudge on Parrott, not enough.
Again, nice little lift into Christie, but well, Ireland had it and lost it again. McTominay, McGinn, Ralston. McLean doing his best to hold him up. Oh, and Ralston has done really well. McLean ended up on the ground. Cross whipped across the box. Robertson came off Alan Brown. Robertson crossing with his right boot there. McGinn, big pressure on Ireland now. Duffy's header. Ireland need to get out of here. Malumbi doesn't help them. McGregor scuffed at it, dragged it wide.
Well, good spell of pressure from Scotland, wasn't it? And you can hear the Scotland fans getting behind their team. It came from McLean earlier, where he's trying to barge into Ralston rather than just concentrating the ball. Fell over, Ralston's in, fired it across the 6-yard box. Eventually came to Robertson. Great block there from Alan Brown. Just got his body in.
So Ireland playing out from the back. They made a terrible mistake, McGinn. And Kelleher, oh. Right.
See, that's what worries me when you try to play out from the back. They don't look confident when they're trying to do it. You can see here with Duffy, he's played a straight ball and it's gone straight to a Scotland player.
Well,
and that's have a chance.
Massive height mismatch in Scotland's favour with McTominay picking up Obafemi. McLean's corner. Duffy on the back post. It's over the line. Goal for Ireland. How much of a touch did Alan Brown get it? Ireland take the lead.
Well, I said you needed a better quality. You certainly got it there from James McLean. And there's Duffy coming under the back post. Seen it so often from it. Wins the header.
And then after this, we'll go into media breakout room for the Sundays. So please be aware of that. If you want to ask a question, Ashley will ask first question. If you want to ask a question after that, then raise your hand and I'll come to you as soon as I possibly can. Okay?
Ashley, how you doing?
Okay, ready to go? Thanks, guys. Ashley?
Yeah, I'm Ashley here from Off the Ball. So 2 losses, a win and a draw so far. How would you sum up the campaign so far?
Well, I think we're going into the games next week knowing that we still have a chance of finishing second in the group, which potentially could give us a playoff for the European Championships. We're a tough group. Ukraine, of course, look strong favourites to win the group. They've been amazing, really, Ukraine, considering all they've gone through, and terrific players. They've shown their quality overall. So they've got to play Scotland twice, which is interesting. But we've got to look after ourselves. We've got a tough game, obviously, in Hampden against Scotland. And then we go and play Armenia here, obviously, which we're looking forward to.
And one of the 2016 Euros heroes, Robin Brady, he's back in the squad first time since March 2021.
Yeah, no, it's 18 months out of the squad for Robbie, and probably, you know, if he is one of our better players for sure, all things being equal, but things haven't been equal for him because his body has let him down frequently, and that's been most unfortunate. And it's just good to see him. He's not in. He's only in on absolute merit. It's not in because we do admire him as a player and the talent that he possesses, but he's in because his performances for Preston have been different, really, for a left wing back. Like, he offers you different things. Very creative passer from that position, quality crossing, and just sees things so early. And he has played well in that position to date this season. I've been a few times to see Preston, obviously, and you know, I've enjoyed his performances.
And the last one for me, just to ask about Michael Obafemi. He hasn't featured in the last 2 squads for Swansea City. Have you spoken to him, or do you know what the situation is there?
Yeah, I've spoken to Michael, and like everything else, there's 2 sides or 3 sides to every story, and certainly Michael wants to play football. You know, he wants to play football, wants to play for Swansea, so Obviously, he's been omitted from the last couple of squads after the deadline day bids and so forth. It's not ideal. We want our players coming in good form. So it's just one of those things. I'm sure he'll be back playing shortly, and we're delighted to have him in the squad because I've got to say him. We've watched him a few times this season, and he's played well. He's been at the level that he finished off last season. Okay, maybe that's not been translated into the goals, but I seen him against Blackpool where he ran 60 yards. He was right in on goal, right to win the game, and just unselfishly laid it off to Oliver Incham to score to win the game, and then scored a great goal against Millwall. So he has done some good things, and his form has been good overall.
David?
Yeah, well, particularly Callum, because again, Callum is talented, left-footed, direct dribbler, but has not been able to get a run of games with his previous club Bristol City, and his hamstring he got a really bad hamstring injury and reoccurred, and a very difficult period for Callum. So he's been through a lot because he's had a few false dawns where he's come back and looked like he was getting back, and then it went again. And sometimes you get that with explosive players, and so Callum's been through a lot. He's obviously moved to Cardiff and started the season well and played in 3 different positions. Played on the right wing, played on the left wing, played actually 4 different as a left back in one and as a wing back. So he's quite a versatile player, Callum, and I would hope that he'd be potentially someone that's important. A significant player for us in the qualifications for the European Championships between March and November. I would hope that Callum will be involved. Yeah, Andrew, I think for Andrew it's different because when you're a young player and you've never been injured, it's new. It's new, it's uncharted territory, and it's a stress fracture as well in your back, or potential stress fracture. So that's, that's uncertain, creates uncertainty. And so that was a long period out for Andrew. He burst on the scene, had really exceptional start to his international career. He only had 7 league games played when we played him against Portugal, and he didn't disappoint, and we knew what we were getting, and he really excelled in those performances that he played in. But obviously that set him back somewhat, but he's been an ever-present in the Norwich team at the start of the season, and they're going well, and he's performing to a good level. I think with Queeveen, listen, in regard, if Queeveen tweaks something in the game against Ukraine, it wasn't evident by his performance. Like, he performed very well in the game, done everything really well, and actually, I honestly wasn't aware of him being injured at that time. Yeah, well, obviously he trained with Liverpool, and when he went back in pre-season and got injured, but certainly it was something that we weren't aware of. But the good thing is, anyway, he's making good progress and is back soon, very soon, and should be back for the next camp for sure. No, I haven't spoken to Jurgen Klopp, but the medical teams have been in constant contact, and so that's been evident.
Next question in the live section, if you want to raise your hands. Or if there's no further questions in the live section, we can move to the embargo. David?
On that, Stephen, would you be not anxious, but just kind of hopeful that you would clarify if there's been any misunderstanding with Liverpool? Because we've seen before with Everton a fraught relationship develop in terms of player availability and history in Ireland linked with that in clubs and miscommunications. Is it important to just tie that down and get both of
Yeah, listen, I think, as you know, Dr. Alan Bourne, this is last game, obviously, and has been involved, you know, with great reputation, been involved in over 200 internationals. So, you know, they always write medical notes on every injury, and always write extensive medical notes on every injury. So we have no medical notes on Queevy from the last camp. You know what kind of way? There's no medical notes. So it's he obviously, if he did tweak out, we sort of weren't aware of it. And he played well in the game, played terrifically well in the game. It's just one of those things. So we'll all move on. Like, it's not, you know, he obviously got injured in training when he went back, and it's one of those things that it's unfortunate. But I'm sure he's nearly back. I believe he's nearly back, and he's making good progress. So hopefully, it's unfortunate for Queevy and himself.
We're having a chat with Jurgen just to kind of, you know, close it down and be able to move on instead of having.
I'm sure we're fine. I'm sure it's not. There's no disharmony there. I'm sure.
Final question on the live.
I'm sure we're out. Like we've great respect for Liverpool. I'm sure, you know, that's not an issue. You know.
Final question on the live section, just up there, please. No, I didn't start the embargo. No, I said final question of the live sections.
I think Dave.
I said
Yeah, I just thought I think Dave just thought it was the start, so we can
so
save that question for
we can. Okay, we can save that question for the embargoed section. All right, we'll have this question for the live, if that's okay.
Yeah, I think, and what a hat trick last night! Like, they were absolutely, 3 goals were excellent, really top class goals, and I must say, Scott wasn't in the Birmingham team regularly when towards the end of last season he had periods where he's out of the team, and then we had a 5-week gap between the championship finishes and our first game in the group, so that had its challenges for Scott, and obviously started, you know, he had a goal sort of chalked off, if you like, against Scotland, was over the line, not given, but against Ukraine, he played 50-odd minutes, but certainly he wasn't at the level then, probably physically, than he is now. He's at a much different level now physically because he's had a full pre-season, and he, under John Eustace, he has been sort of the main man at Birmingham, and even though he got 2 goals going into last night, his work rate and the threat he was causing in a team that were, before they had their recent signings just in the team, they were struggling in the early part of the season, but he was still a focal point. And obviously I've been to see them a couple of times, and I've seen him scored against Norwich obviously last week in the game, and 2 weeks ago in the game in St Andrews, and that's probably one of the best nights of his career, I'd say. You know, getting a hat trick in a derby like that, in the Midlands derby, and you know, I'm sure I spoke to him actually yesterday, which I wouldn't normally do on a match day, but spoke to him yesterday just to, you know, let him know that he was in the squad, and he you know, he obviously, it was a terrific performance last night for them to get the 3 goals.
Okay, we're moving to the embargoed section now, so if you want to read